Dear Betty Joe, you lived for 5 years, died, and disappeared. When I look at your pictures, I can't tell if you were having fun or if you were happy. You look so serious all the time, but I know how much joy you brought your family. All I've ever known about you is how sad you left everyone upon your death. I would like to change that. Your little brother, Patrick.
In 47 years, I've seen one picture of my sister. I've had very little knowledge of her life. One could even say she only lived for 5 years, so there isn't that much to tell. I wished I could have known the sound of her voice, the sound of her laughter. I can only imagine. When she died, she left something behind. For 50 years, this family has been left grieving and still does. Betty Jo's memory has more to do with pain and sorrow than anything else. I'm sure there's more to this little girl than the pain she left behind. She celebrated her life. We all do somehow. And until recently, her memory has been hidden away in the cobwebs of the past, between the pages of pain and sorrow. Almost a secret. Who was this little girl and what did she leave us? One glance into her face reveals a much older soul. Was she born only to make the ultimate sacrifice? And for what reason? And has that reason ever been discovered, or worse yet, wasted? Growing up with this lingering mystery was hard as a kid. Others in the family seemed to pretend she never lived at all. The pain of her death too much to bear. If someone uttered her name, it was quickly hushed. If I asked any questions, we would quickly talk about something else, and I was left with no answers. It's been 54 years since she died, and I'm as compelled as ever to know who my sister was. Even though her life was short, it had a lasting impact. They say everything happens for a reason, and the reason for her life has got to mean more than the pain and sorrow of her death. I find it hard to accept that such a wonderful child's life has always been remembered with such darkness. But for now, these questions go unanswered, and I can only show the world her pictures. Though somehow, I feel this tribute will start healing the old wounds that linger, and maybe she'll live again in our hearts with laughter, smiles, and the joy she once brought so many. We all love you, Betty Jo. All of us, your whole family, those that knew you, and those of us that didn't. And we always will.